Hey everyone, welcome back here to my channel where I play Planet Zoo. My name is Nisse and today we're gonna make a beautiful home for the Kobray, Indo-Chinese Banting and the white water buffalo. Now it will be our last build here on the mountain, and we are at the base of the mountain at this point. So we're gonna make a home for these animals that both will be grassland, much of it, but it will also be a wetland inspired build, so we will try to combine it. Also because it is placed between our desert and our tropical area, and we will try to pull both of those areas a little bit into this build to make it more cohesive with our mountain habitats. First of all, I'm making the water area, which is the most difficult water area I ever made, to be honest. Though, of course, when I made waterfalls and that kind of stuff, it will be a little more difficult. But I wanted to make this big round water area and combine it with the water area you can see here in the background, and want to have two different depths. So here we have this big part, have the 1 meter level and the 2 meter level, and it will also have a line over to the other area where it will have a 1 meter level. So combining these different levels was quite difficult, to be honest. But I will be honest and say, when it's done, I'm so proud of what I built. So keep watching and let's get into the animals. Now, all three animals we have today is bovines, and both the Kobray and the white water buffalo are grayish, blackish bovine. So I will put up a picture today of every single animal so you know which one we talk about. First one is the Kobray. And to talk about the Kobray, I have read about it on the website Animal Diversity Web. And the link is as always below if you want to go and read for it yourself. The Kobray is a bovine, and it was native to Kampuchea, to the Dongrak Mountains of eastern Thailand, southern Laos and western Vietnam, but at this point they are considered likely to be extinct. There may be some small groups of them left in eastern Cambodia, but that isn't documented at this point. The Kobray is a very big bovine, which can reach a height of 170 to 190 centimeters at the shoulder. The male have this dewlap, this kind of fold that hangs from the neck, which kind of tells them apart from other big bovines or cattle in this area. At the age of around 3, they will get their horns, and the horns are these massively very wide and then bend so they point forward kind of shape. Males' horns can reach up to 80 centimeters in length. The females also have horns, but they're normal only half that length. The Kobray have its habitat both on a savanna, but also in these more thickly foresty areas, which is why this combined habitat will be perfect for them. The Kobray is actually one of not many bovines who chose to live a more nocturnal lifestyle. During the day they will hide for humans, which is also why we are not quite sure if they actually are extinct, and they will normally spend the day hiding in a forest area, and then at the evening and through the night they will come out to these grasslands, start grazing, and they can roam up to 15 kilometers each night while grazing. They are normally known to be mixing both with Banting and white water buffalo, which I didn't know before making this habitat, but it is a joy to see that I did something right. The females lead the herds and are normally the main part of them, but during the drier seasons the males will join the herds. It's hard to actually know much of the corporate because they are so rare or extinct at this point, and the same counts for their mating system, though since they are bovine and they have this sexual dimorphosis where the males are so much bigger and have these giant horns, it does seem fair to assume that they mate like most bovine and are polyamorous, and the males will fight for the females. They do mate in spring, and calves are born in winter, typical December or January. Before the mother gives birth, she will leave the herd and find an area where she can give birth to a single young and have it on its own for the first time. The only known predator of the corporate, and it's important to notice I say known predator, it doesn't mean that there aren't any, it's because we haven't data to suggest otherwise. But the only known predator of the corporate is the humans, which is also a part of why they have adopted this nocturnal behavior, so they therefore can stay as far away from humans during the day as possible. It is also important to notice that they do share their habitat with the banting and the wild water buffalo, which also are big bovine, and therefore they may also have to compete for food with them. The negative effect for the corporate is the fact that they are that much bigger, so they need so much more food than, for instance, the banting. Now that's pretty much all I have for the corporate, and the time is actually perfect because now we are here where that actually starts to happen something. So here you can see we are making this little kind of terrace down here where we will have a grill area and we will have a playground. First, over here I want to make some barriers so the guests don't fall down here, and it was a little pickle to make it, but I promise you when it's done it will work. I will tell you more about the playground, the grill and everything I mix over there when it's time for it, but first I want to tell you a little about the Indo-Chinese bintang. And first of all, I want to jump to a clip here from when I started researching. Okay everyone, I just wanted to show you this because normally when I do these videos I make a little of research, mainly by googling the animals I want to talk about, and today we have the Indo-Chinese banting, and it's weirdly disappeared, this animal. We have a wiki page, we have a ecology, I'm not gonna pronounce that, but then the next here is actually Ornixus mud, which actually never appeared as when I google these animals, so that's weird. First here, but it do get weirder. Then we have some Reddits, something I don't know, Wikidiv, Pinterest, and then we have my own video down here of it, and then here another video of it also, and then books. There are more pages here. I will try to get some information, but at this point it just seems like it's an animal that's weirdly gone on the internet. Yeah, just wanted to show you. Back to the video. Yeah, so as you saw, the information about the Indo-Chinese bintang is quite scarce, but I did try to do my best and I ended up using the website called Ecology Asia. So yeah, that's why I couldn't pronounce it before, because it was written in one word. Here it's two words, so it Ecology Asia. And they have this, I will say though, it's called the Banting here, not the Indo-Chinese Banting, so some of the information might be a tiny bit off here. But we're doing our best here, and there's not much information on it. So you're gonna get what you're gonna get. The Banting is yet another bovine, and it do inhabit quite a few different habitats. That includes the semi-open forest, forest edge grassland, and riverine areas. Again, why they fit in perfectly just here with our Cobre and whitewater buffalo, but also why it works with the near tropical areas, but also little grasslandy, deserty area. They are also found up to 2,100 meters elevation, so the bottom of our mountain here again fits nicely. Since the Banting is a hunted animal, like so many other bovines out there, they, like the Cobre, actually also chosen to be nocturnal. Some places, not all places, but the places where they are hunted the most and they are disturbed the most, they are becoming more and more nocturnal, and then places where they are not having these issues and they're peace and quiet, they have a normal day like the rest of us. The Banting have this beautiful light brown to orange brown fur, and the females and juveniles have this narrow skull and very small curved horns. The males have a darker dark brown to black coat, and their skull and horns are much wider, though not even close to what the Cobre have. It is still very narrow horns and skull here, but it's much wider than the females. The females do kind of represent a normal cow in face and build, for what I can see on these pictures. The Banting lives in herds, which historically have been up to 25 or so individuals, but nowadays they normally only grow the size of 5. Males who haven't attracted a harem may either live solitary life, or they can create a male-only herd with other males in the same situations. Lots of places, and because the Banting are so reminiscent of a normal cow, something like that, they do interbreed a lot with domestic herds, livestock, and therefore in Indonesia they also have got the second name as belly cattle, because they interbreed with these domesticated cattle that much. The Banting still lives natively in southern China, Myanmar, Thailand, Indonesia, that's being Laos, Cambodia and Vietnam, Java and Borneo. In places like Peninsula and Malaysia, they became extinct in the 1950s, but since that they have been reintroduced in smaller herds. And now it seems like it's time for the wild water buffalo. And to talk about that, I am able to go to one of my tried and true website, animalia.bio. Again, link for all 3 websites, I'll link in the description below, along to links for the mods and my videos on the mods. So if you want more of me after this, there are plenty in the description to go and look for. The whitewater buffalo is of course another bovine, and to distinguish it for the other ones we talked about today, it is dark, kind of like the Cobre, but they have these not as wide as the corporate horns, but not as narrow as the Banting, but they do go upwards like the Banting. So they have these longer horns that are wider, but they go upwards where the corporates point forward. They can grow up to the same size as a corporate, but they don't do it all of them, where all of the corporates are massive, where for the water buffalo here it's more a few of them that can grow that big. And where the horns actually was bigger and longer for the males, both with the corporate and the Banting, for the whitewater buffalo the males horns are still bigger and thicker, but the females are longer. Color-wise, the whitewater buffalo have normally a black to slate gray fur, both the males and females, but the more mature males get an even darker fur when they grow older. They can have spots of half round forms or stripes or spots or something like that on the throat area, and some of them can also have small spots around the eyes, mouth and nose. Now, just to go back to the build here for a while, try to notice the terrain. I try to make it fit, so I combined all of the habitats next to them. Of course we won't have the snow here, but we will have the light dirt and sand next to the desert area, and the darker brown dirt next to the tropical area, where we also will have a foresty area, which I think I'm doing that now, so it makes sense that you wouldn't have that much grass over there. As I have mentioned a few times, the whitewater buffalo lives alongside with the Banting and the corporate. They do live in the Bhutan, Cambodia, India, Myanmar, Nepal, Thailand and Vietnam. In multiple biomes. Here we have the tropical dry forest, tropical moist forest, freshwater areas, wetlands, normal forest, swamp, savanna and grassland. So again, it fits very nicely in with everything we're doing here. Again, I do this research after I make the build, so I'm so happy that everything actually fits with the idea I had. Of course, I have made a habitat for the whitewater buffalo before, so I have read about them, but it's kind of in the very back of my mind what I know about them, because I haven't heard about them before they came to Planet Zoo. So I actually only read about them that one time, so I'm really happy that it all fit together here. Again, here I try to go in and make everything very nice here. So we have the bushes here where we will place the playground and the terrace area. I'm not sure, is it terrace in English, or I'm not really sure. And then inside the habitat I try to make it very rough. We have big bushes, big trees in here, because the buffalo, the corporate and the Banting would actually be able to ruin a lot of thin trees, so we need something strong here. Then I go in and work with a lot of these flowery things that we got lately, though I do have to remove a bit of it because it counts as what's it called, foliage. So I put too much foliage in here, so but I really like the end of it here. On the other side here we try to use the same flowers. Again, I try always to redo the same things inside the habitat and outside the habitat, and I do feel like because this is such a long way away from the main entrance, the caretakers wouldn't get down here and take care. Maybe we have some gardener, they wouldn't take care of this as well as everything we have at the main entrance, because it's not as important and there's a long way down here. so therefore it just makes more sense for me this way. Now for the playground, I go extremely basic. I really wanted it to be this kind of natural playground with thick wood that it made out of. So we go in with these thick logs. I do believe they are from one of the DLCs. If not, my list of prop mods are on a playlist on their own, so you can see all of my prop mods in there. But this is of course a swing that I'm trying to do here. I did end up only doing the swim and the, what's it called, the whippy thingy? The thing where you sit on one end and then it falls down, and then the guy on the other end fall down, and so on. You will see it in a minute. But I did have a half time. I wanted something smaller for these planks, but I couldn't because this was the only half-meter plank. So if any mother are out there, or for God's know why reason, Frontier are listening, then I would really appreciate more half-a-meter planks. So we have these. Now when I see it now, I can see that they are placed quite a bit too high, but it's okay. It's okay. So I basically just use the same thing over here, and then one of the same that I placed up here just to have the same angle. And then it wasn't long enough, so I made it longer. So this is basically what we got. Then I go in and find a tire, and apparently I couldn't spill tire, so I needed to go in manually and find it, but it's here. And then I'm just placing it here and there, and then I go through here, so it's placed halfway down in the ground, so when you hit the ground you wouldn't hit it as roughly. It would bounce off the soft part of the deck instead. Sorry, not deck, tire. Deck is Danish. Then I wanted some ropes here so the children could hold on, which I kind of feel like is needed. And that's basically my playground. Then I get in and find a few tables here, which are very basic. But I really wanted, it's not specifically because I wanted these tables, but I wanted something dark wood that fits in, and it's apparently the only one we got. Then we used the same benches in here, and I didn't like the spacing of them, so I redid it. Yeah. Sometimes things disturbs my eyes, and I can't tell you why. I didn't like the spacing, so I need to redo it. Then I wanted a vending machine here, so you could get something cold to drink down here, even though we have drink shops right on the other way of the gondola ride. But here I go in and make the top part here, because that was basically what decided the size of this. This is gonna be our grill, and I'm proud of this grill. It's not perfect, and afterwards I remembered I could just have made a gas grill. That would be so much easier, and it would basically have been the same, but without any wood, without any fire, and it didn't need to be that deep because it was hard to find firewood here. So now I just went in here and found all of these thingies, and now I think you can actually see what I'm doing, so I'm gonna go back to telling you about the white water buffalo. And I do think it's time that I actually apologize, because I know that it's the wild water buffalo, but in my head I don't know why, but I can't pronounce it that way. It will always be pronounced white and not wild. I'm sorry, I don't know why I can pronounce it wrong, but I am aware of it, that it's wrong, so you don't need to tell me. I know, and I'm sorry. I'm doing my best here, as Elaine says. The wild water buffalo can also both be nocturnal and diurnal. Yeah, that's why I never try to pronounce that word. But they can both live through the night and through the day. Normally, though, they are most active in the morning and the evening, where it's still light out, but it's colder in those periods. They live in herds around 10 to 20 individuals normally, but they can actually have up to 100 individuals in a group. During the year, they change of the route, so they make a more maternal group and then the other groups. So all of the females with calves will go along together and nurse their calves together. When a male is too old to live with his mom, he will find a new herd, normally with other young bachelor males, especially until they are strong enough to really take care of themselves and protect themselves. It isn't only in Planet Zoo that the wild water buffalo likes to bathe around in a mud bath. They also do that in the wild, and they normally do that both to keep cool in the hot sun, but also to warn off insect bites. If mud isn't available, then they will try to find a nice shadow to lay in during the warmer times of the day. The mating system of the wild water buffalo is very basic. They mate through October and November, and the females are pregnant for 11 months. Here they will, before they give birth, split off to these maternal groups. The female will only have a single calf, and the calf will be independent after 1 to 2 years. For threats, they have the basic, but let's just go through them. Parasites and diseases, usually transmitted through livestock, hunting, loss of habitat, interbreeding with wild buffalo with domesticated buffaloes, and feral buffaloes, competing for water and food between buffalo and domestic livestock. And also, of course, the bintang and the corporate, if there are any back out there. The wild water buffalo are currently endangered, and there are no more than 4,000 individuals left in the wild. That will be that's include the 2,500 mature individuals. So again, if we don't watch out and help these beautiful animals, all 3 of these bovine may be extinct in the near future. I am aware of the fact that it wasn't 3 happy stories I told you today, but I really hope you will bear with me and at least enjoy the information and then the view of this habitat. I did place all of the enrichments to try to pull the animals forward where the guests could see them, but they do get the opportunity to hide if they want to or feel like it. We're gonna start cinematic with a ride today again, and yeah, I really hope you enjoy it. Okay, everybody, we are here. I hope you can forgive me for these long cinematics, but it's hard. I really want to show you it all. It was also really hard to decide which angle I wanted to give this last shot, because I don't feel like anywhere shows it all off, and I really like to all of the other habitats here on this mountain, along with all of these other habitats in this zoo, is of course on the same playlist, so you can go and watch the rest of the playlist if you feel like it. Again, anything with the mods listed in the description, and all of my information for today listed in the description. I just want to take a second to plug my Instagram, Nissepedersen, one word. It is on the screen now. And you know the drill, guys. Like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification so you know the next time I upload a video. I really hope to see you again, either in the comments below or in the next video. Bye, guys!